DemocrART, the podcast of the democracy and heart. Welcome everyone to our podcast.
Hi, and welcome to our podcast. This is the Greek participants of the DemocrART Project, hosted by I.R.T.E.A at Chania, Crete. Today we have all the Greek team with us, Nikos, Manos, Tassos, Nanai and Katia, and we're going to discuss their experience on the project. But first, let's see what they learned about art. Katia, which art expression will you pay more attention to now on?
Thank you, Anna. To start off, I really love the storytelling drawing. At that point, we got the chance, through different nationality groups, to exchange ideas and create a story from the beginning. This story was meant for kids, thus it was very simply made, but that doesn't make it any less difficult. It was a different perception of democratic values with a fun and engaging way. We could not forget to mention the fact that we also got the chance to express ourselves through drawing and getting out of the typical lines. So, from now on, I think I will read more books and stories to learn more things.
Nanai, what about you?
I like the theatre workshop because we learn to express ourselves freely and creatively while also having a lot of fun and getting closer as a group. Moreover, we got the chance to expand our horizons by learning from each other's artistic perspectives. Therefore, I will engage with theatre more.
Tassos, what's your opinion on this?
I enjoyed the activity where we presented how democracy works in our countries, each in different artistic way. I found very interesting how many things I learned about how other democratic countries function. What really surprised me was the picture drawn by the Polish group, which also informed us about the ban of abortion in Poland. I feel like drawing and paintings will catch my eye more often now as ways of information.
Manos, what's your take on this?
I really enjoyed the TikTok session and how we represented the values of democracy in a fun, digital and creative way. And I think that all of us thought that it was a very youth-friendly concept. So I think that this modernized way of arting is something that I will adopt in my daily life.
That's so great to hear. Nikos?
So it's pretty difficult for me to choose one specific workshop because I think that all of them were very interactive and very informative. But if I have to choose one, I think I would choose the film screening that we had actually today, a few hours ago, because I realized that through the audiovisual part, it's much more interesting to learn new things, and it's much closer to the youth instead of just a plain book. Thank you.
So interesting to hear, and I totally agree with you. Moving on to another topic we discussed about democracy. In what way does your country's democracy shape you?
I think all of the values that democracy as a political system represents shapes us as young citizens. For me personally, solidarity. The feeling of inclusion, interaction and not taking into consideration any prejudice.
Danai?
For me, it's very important that the human rights are being protected.
Tassos?
I think diversity is an important value to have as a democratic citizen because it means that we are accepted as we are and we have the freedom to be ourselves.
Nikos, how do you feel about this?
So actually I almost totally agree with the previous speakers. Because I think that living in a democratic state, country as Greece, give us the chance and the opportunity to express ourselves as we want, not to hold back any feelings, any preferences that we might have.
I couldn't agree more, and honestly, all of those values that we discussed are not only hidden in our countries, they are hidden in the European Union structure and how they were transmitted to us through the years that passed. Another activity that I really loved that comes to this part was the the spectrum of opinions. And I don't know how you found it, Nikos, how the participants were spreading from agreeing to disagreeing with many things, regardless of their countries, of their beliefs and everything.
It was a very interesting activity, and actually on this activity I would like to mention the two questions that we discussed, I think, the most through the days. The one about the European identity. The one question was about if they know what European identity means as a term, and the other question was if they feel that they have the European identity. And as we saw, most of the young of the participants, I mean, they are from age of 17 until maximum up to 24, 27, yeah. Most of them didn't know what European identity means, but also most of them felt like they had a European identity. I think that this is a topic that must be brought on the table throughout the European Union, because summarizes the crisis that we have the last years in European Union.
Totally agree. And it's also, of course, very important to mention that our reason of being here, the Erasmus Plus program, is a program that always tries and accomplishes to bring these values to the table, to bring these values back into our lives and to remind us why they are so important and so helpful for us to progress, to evolve, and to become a better, stronger democratic countries and union, of course.
Exactly, and as we saw on the film screening today, Europe has been through a lot, but we have accomplished to be one of the most democratic unions in the world, and we are the last frontier, if I might say, of protecting human rights and human values.
That's so great to hear. So, moving on to our final question. Do you feel like this week's experience inspired you to use art in democracy, Nikos?
To be honest, before the project, I never combined, if I might say, democracy with art. At least not that much, because, okay, I have heard a lot of songs that talk about justice, solidarity, and we all inspired from them. But these days I realized that art is a way to approach younger people and maybe make them part of modern democracy, which is actually something that we see that it's every year decreases more and more, their participation to the democratic process.
Manos, what part did you like most?
First of all, I really appreciate people that expressing their opinion about democracy in an artistic way. You know that there are a lot of songwriters that expressed their opinion about democracy and inspired others. So I think like maybe when I leave this project, I will get like out of my comfort zone and try to compose a song about democratic values, so I can like inspire some other people.
Tassos, what about you?
I think that this project has inspired me to express through art, but also to notice art more. Overall, this experience was amazing, and the spirit of Erasmus really inspired me to learn more, meet new people, and exchange opinions.
I really value what you just said, Tassos, because exactly the spirit of Erasmus is what connects us all here, and I think what also gave us the incentive to express our opinions freely and to have this easygoing spirit around us, to use art, to express ourselves with art, to learn more about democracy, to express our opinions about democracy, and finally to get to know each other and coexist, if I may say, happily and excitingly in such an environment. I would like to thank you so much about your experience. With one last question, would you go again to Erasmus?
Yes, of course.
Tassos?
Yes, absolutely.
Mano?
I mean, it's like a life-changing experience, to be honest.
And I think this is how we understand that Erasmus is way more than just a program. Thank you so much for listening to us, and we hope that you enjoyed us. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
DemocrART, the podcast of the democracy and heart.